Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 scary moments caught on tape. These are some very scary, mysterious, and sometimes unexplained videos. All of these videos are very terrifying and will send chills going down your spine. But the most interesting ones don't even have an explanation, so maybe we can work one out after watching these videos. Before we get into it, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too. Coming in at number 10 we have Nosy Neighbor. So, do you think your neighbors are quite nosy and sometimes invade on your privacy? Well, if you do, then you should get a load of this guy. One night, a man named Jerome Kennedy from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania heard some strange noises coming from his attic. When he went up there the next day to investigate, he found various strange drill holes. Over the next few months, he saw these drill holes appearing again and again. He also heard even more strange noises and even flashlights coming down from his air vents. Eventually, Jerome installed some security cameras to figure out what exactly was going on, and when he played the footage back, he was absolutely terrified and stunned. Caught on tape, Jerome saw his neighbor Robert Havilla sneaking into his attic. His 69-year-old neighbor Robert Havilla would sneak into his attic and his air vents. The creepiest thing was, he would actually spy from the air vents on Jerome's 10-month-old daughter. At first, he was very civil and confronted Robert about what he was doing. However, Robert denied he was doing it, saying he couldn't even get into the space. So instead, Jerome took Robert to court. The court was stunned when they saw the footage, and Robert was charged with burglary. Next up is Florida Fireball. One night in the winter of 2017 in Florida, everyone in Florida saw something very strange. All of a sudden, there was a gigantic blue flash in the sky. Everyone assumed it was a meteorite until they realized there was no damage caused. The event was caught on multiple dash cams, so we know where it landed. However, this absolutely massive fireball didn't cause any effect on the land. Other theories suggest this could be some kind of UFO landing on Earth. Others say this may have been a meteorite that exploded before impact into tiny pieces, thus causing no damage. And some even say it could be a product of the HAARP program. This is a secret weather control program by the United States government. But what do you think the Florida Fireball really is, and who do you think is responsible for it? Next up is NASA Livestreams UFO. So, for decades, NASA have always denied the existence of UFOs and aliens. And sometimes people think the concept of UFOs and aliens is just silly. But what if I told you that one day from the International Space Station livestream, NASA showed a UFO on tape? In early 2016, hundreds of viewers of their livestream reported a blurry object descending towards Earth. It appeared this was some kind of falling star or UFO coming towards Earth. To me, the strangest thing about this tape is that NASA cut away to an error message right after this showed up on screen. NASA said this was simply a coincidence and they needed to do maintenance at that very time. But don't you think it's odd that just as this UFO appeared on screen, NASA cut away? Perhaps they were trying to cover something up or figure out what this was themselves. Skeptics say this could have simply been a light reflection or a lens flare. But don't you find the fact that NASA cut away straight after this appeared on screen slightly strange? But what do you think? Is this just a camera error or was something sinister going on? Next up is Obama Ghost. In 2015, the then US President Obama visited Nairobi, Kenya. This was a major news event, and cameras were filming as he stepped off his plane. But as he greets Kenyan officials, something strange occurs. As you can see, a grey ghostly demon figure appears to go by on the video. The figure is a grey blur that moves from left to right very quickly. Some skeptics say this could have simply been a boom mic, but this doesn't really look like any kind of boom mic to me. Others said it could have been a plastic bag simply going by in the wind. But if you slow it down, you can see this is actually the form and movements of a humanoid-like figure. Some took this as some kind of theory that Obama was evil, and others said this was simply something else, like an object. People pointed out that no one else seemed to notice the ghost. But it was moving very quickly, and when their then US president was in their presence, they're going to be more focused on him. Nairobi, Kenya is known for having lots of ghosts and spirits. So, do you think this was a paranormal ghost or spirit, or is there a more scientific and boring explanation for this clip? Next up is Ghost at Dinner. So this piece of footage is coming from Japan. As you can see, a little girl is eating her food while her mother records her on camera. This goes on for some time until the girl points in front of her and says, "Look mom, a man." The mother then turns to the camera and nothing is there. She then asks the girl what she's talking about, as she doesn't see anyone. But if you look closely, in the mirror behind the girl appears to be a ghostly figure. The man is tall, grey, and doesn't have any facial features. Perhaps this ghost can't be seen in real life, but the mirror did pick it up. Some say that children have a much greater ability at seeing ghosts. So did this young Japanese girl really see something her mother didn't? Or is there a more logical explanation for whatever the figure is in the mirror? The figure really does look like a human and even appears to have dark hair. But is this a real ghost caught in Japan, or is this a fake video? Next up is Dark Spirit. One day at an office, 3 colleagues are talking. There's a man standing up, a woman sitting down, and another man recording them. Things are all going as normal in this mundane looking office until you see something strange in the background. What appears to be a very small, humanoid-like dark figure runs behind them. It's only seen on screen for a few seconds until it darts around the corner. The man then alerts his colleagues, saying, "Look, I just saw a girl run by." He then calls it the crying girl, as if he's seen it before. Some say this could even be the famous Latin American weeping woman ghost. This would make sense, seeing as the video was recorded in an office in Lima, Peru. At first, the man thinks the guy's joking, but as the cameraman goes to check, he sees nothing there. He then swears that he actually did see a ghost and caught it on camera. He then tells his colleagues he'll show them the video and then stops recording to show them. I can only assume his colleagues were blown away when they realized he wasn't joking and a dark spirit really was behind them. But what do you think? Is this a ghost, a shadow, or something else? Next up is Creepy Clown. So we all remember the creepy clown phase from a few years back. People would dress up in clowns simply to scare people for a laugh. Most of these were all in good fun, but this one guy took things way too far. One night at 2:30 AM, a man in Antonio, Texas caught something very scary on his surveillance footage. He saw a man dressed in a full clown suit approach his door. But most terrifying of all, the man had a big knife. He tries to open their front door. He then walks around to these people's windows, but he can't get in, so eventually does leave through the front gate. The man only checked the surveillance footage as he saw his gate was open. But just imagine if the clown had closed the gate, this guy would have never known that this creepy man was going around his house. It's just a good thing this guy's not a night owl, otherwise he may have encountered this knife-wielding clown. But do you think this clown was playing a majorly scary prank, or was he really trying to break in? Or perhaps trying to do something even worse? Next up is Interview. So this clip doesn't have anything paranormal like UFOs or ghosts, but this is one of the most unsettling videos I've ever seen, so I had to include it on this list. In 2011, a law student named Laura Giddens went missing. For 4 days, there was a search party that her neighbor Stephen McDaniel took part in. On the 4th day of the search, Stephen was being interviewed on live news. He was described as Lauren's neighbor and was said to be very disgruntled and saddened by her disappearance. However, as he was being interviewed, the newscaster got intel that Lauren's body had been found. She immediately told Stephen, and his reaction was very strange. Instead of being saddened, he got very lightheaded and needed to sit down. Because of this very strange reaction to the interview, the police actually investigated Stephen. And then it didn't take long for them to find out he was actually the one who took the life of Lauren. The reason he acted in such a scared way was because he thought he buried the body well. But when he learned they found the body, he realized he was going to be caught. After an investigation, the police even found scary video clips made by Stephen the night he took Lauren's life. He attached a camera to a broomstick and began filming inside Lauren's house. I'm not sure what's scarier, his reaction to the news interview or the clips he filmed just moments before taking Lauren's life. Coming up next, we have two sons. In 2011, a bizarre phenomenon was caught in the sky in China. It was first shared to a Chinese news station, and days later the video was identified as completely authentic. It was then shared online throughout the world. One astronomer from the University of Illinois named Jim Kaler said it was very rare. He also confirmed the video was not fake and said the second sun was a truly spectacular phenomenon. Some said this could be some kind of Chinese weather experiment, and others said it could even be the Chinese government experimenting with massive projectors in the sky. Others even blamed the USA government, saying it could be their HEART project designed to control the weather. But what do you think the meaning behind these two suns are? Despite this video being real, it left scientists absolutely baffled, and to this day we still don't know what caused the double sun in China. Next up is Haunted Doll. One evening in Mexico, a little girl was playing when she told her father while she was playing something was bothering her. This kept happening for quite some time, so eventually the father did set up a surveillance camera. When he looked back at the footage, everything seemed normal until he saw something very scary. There appeared to be one of her dolls that started moving all by itself. The doll started rocking its head back and forth. The daughter was preoccupied playing with her other toy and she didn't even realize. But then just 2 hours later, on a different video in a different room, paper starts flying all around this girl's room. She's innocently drawing when all of a sudden the paper flies up into the air. The girl realizes something is wrong and runs away. Of course, the dad was very confused and scared when he watched this footage back, but so far there's been no explanation as to what this really was. Check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for the scariest video on this list. I think it's the NASA live stream, as it's very legit and may prove aliens actually exist among us. If you guys want some more awesome videos, then check out my second channel. There's life hacks on that channel and there'll be a video for that channel on screen in a moment. But as always, thank you for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now, leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.